Lavos uses, it changes what attacks he uses.
Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. There. Time. I don't even want to know what the time is.
Yeah.
So that's a glitch that is in quite a few RPGs, but it's set up a little bit differently in this game. That's an HP overflow glitch, not an underflow. In this game, normally you can't throw healing items on enemies, but when you get the ATB set up just right and you enter the menu, there's a lot of really complicated setup to get that right, so we're not going to go super in depth. You can target Lavos.
Yeah, I mean, the way, because basically the way it works is that if you basically die and get revived with the green dream, like within like a very small window of ATB bar before your turn comes up, that confuses the game into thinking your whole party is dead. Because you're not normally able to use healing items on enemies in Chrono Trigger, but when the game gets confused like that, it lets you target enemies with items. And because there's no enemy in the game that has more HP than 30,000, which is how much Lavos Core has, so the HP memory value only goes up to, I think it's like 767. And so if you use an elixir on an enemy that has over 16,384, I think, HP, that'll max that value out, and then it rolls over to 0, and then they die. So that's why she couldn't do it against Lavos Shell, because it only works on enemies that have over about 16,000 HP, and Lavos Shell only has 10, because it needs to be over that in order to actually be able to overflow the RAM value.
You only get 2 elixirs on the rod anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was possible to do it on Lavos Shell, it would probably be worth
We'd find another elixir.
Another elixir,
another elixir, because it is a really long fight.
Because that might let you get away with getting less stuff or whatever if you didn't actually have to fight final Lavos Shell.
But you can see why we had to do the Retinite side quest with Robo to get the Green Dream, because otherwise that just doesn't work.
Yeah, but then that was why the menu glitch was required too, is because the RNG that you use to set up the elixir glitch on Lavos' body then lets you lead into having Marley use the elixir on Lavos Core, as long as she's hasted.
Because in this game, the auto life from the Green Dream doesn't remove statuses like haste, which it would in some other RPGs.
I like that the Tabin look-alike guy's face right there too.
Ayla, of course.
From the Falcon Head animation?
Yeah.
I also like to note this is definitely the correct music for this ending.
The kind of the complete endings music is really good too, to Faraway Times. This works though very much, along with the text that we get right before the end too.
Luca is the best cook.
And Chrono is a doll now or something.
I just like that he has 2 kitties now.
And they're torturing Robo.
They're playing with Robo.
Ted Woolsey. Here it comes. I guess we kind of already killed Lavos. Sorry to break it to you.
So does killing Lavos in the future remove him from the past, though?
It's complicated. We're not.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
So, the idea is that you go to 1999 AD, and you're fighting Lavos in another dimension before he comes to ours and crashes into the planet. But the problem with that is, well, not. There's all sorts of time issues with this. Like, because he crashed into the planet ages ago, and he's been buried in there, and now like tunneled into his other place. And you're going to where he is before he reemerges and like destroys everything. Time travel RPGs create these problems.
Yeah, you killed Avos and saved the world.
Yeah.
When you do it isn't really too relevant.
Yeah.
Basically, we prevented the Day of Lavos from happening.
All right.
I'll just be confused.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
We can debate the merits of time.
All right, that was Chrono Trigger, any percent by Essentia. We're going to play a few commercials, take a few minutes for setup, and when we come back, we will have Final Fantasy VII with Karakarn.
They put Carol ID in the commentators.
Are you serious?
What?
They called her Kara Lady instead of Unikitten.
They could call her Kara Waifu. That would work too.
God.
By the way, your first two names are Fiesel and Yuna.
Nice. Good.
And I'm assuming Barrett Date is still winning by a comfortable amount, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I got to do the date stuff.
Yeah, you can get the affection at Cosmo Canyon. Yeah.
All right, I'm ready. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Try to like do real slow so nobody notices. Just gonna cheat. Fancy raid.
It's not totally cold yet, but oh well.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think that fridge was that cold.
No, my water was pretty warm.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a few dialogue options that are kind of out of the ordinary for set up the Barrett Date.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how much faster the Barrett Date is. Like the actual date part, I don't know how much faster it is, but the amount of time it takes to set it up probably makes it not faster. But I don't know. I'm not sure anyone's actually timed it yet.
No, I haven't seen anybody actually time their date. Because usually nobody does it, so.
Or to find, I mean, you'd have to find the right combination of dialogue options too.
Yeah.
But there's actually lots of, Barrett actually gets you a lot of affection in the normal route, surprisingly. Because lots of the options you pick actually give Barrett affection. Alright, first gonna set memory, cursor, and active ATB. And all speeds to fast.
Alright, so the names for Cloud and Barrett have now been closed and locked in. However, you can still get your donations in for Tifa's name, which is coming up really quickly, as well as the rest of the names and the donation incentives available for Final Fantasy VII. If you want to see all the incentives available, as well as what names are currently leading, please go to crystalsforlife.ca. The link to the tracker is about halfway down the page on the right.
Bad ATV. Oh well. And I put fixed camera on just for preference, because I don't like the camera spinning around. I don't think it really affects the time. But and I'm walking on purpose there. I'll explain it at some point. Alright, so Fiesel, capital F, lowercase e, lowercase a, lowercase s, lowercase e, lowercase l. Okay. And Barrett is capital Y, lowercase u, lowercase n, lowercase a. That seems familiar.
Yeah.
You got plenty of practice.
So yeah, walking on purpose. The way the encounters work in this game are like they're not really random. They're based on like how many steps you take. So you generally get encounters in the same spot in every run. But if you walk in certain places, you can eliminate some of the encounters. I don't really understand the math of it all, but that is why I'm walking in some places. And I'm really hoping that I do not mess up the encounter pattern, at least until after Materia Keeper. After Materia Keeper doesn't really matter that much, especially not for a marathon. Wow, that's great. Well, fortunately I had a lot of leeway. That's still very bad to do that though.
Alright, just as a reminder, Tifa's name won't be open for long. Currently, Yuna is in the lead at $20 and Dillahunt comes next at $10. You can bid for either of those names or suggest a brand new name. Remember that all donations go towards JDRF, which is the leading global organization supporting type 1 diabetes research, seeking to treat, cure, and prevent type 1 diabetes. To get the full marathon experience, see the schedule, and see all the donation incentives, head to crystalsforlife.ca.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about my step count already. that's the last thing I wanted to have happen. But yeah, I'm gonna have to walk earlier than I usually do after the 4th encounter. Normally I wait until after I jump across, but I'm not gonna be able to do that.
I'm gonna blame Goran because he called it.
Thanks, Goran. Good looking out.
And so for those that aren't familiar with the step counter, what does having it off do for you in the run?
If the step count gets off, then I end up getting encounters that I'm not supposed to, and then I don't know where to walk to skip more encounters, because I have to walk in very specific places after very specific encounters. And if it gets thrown off, then I'm just not going to be able to do any more manipulation. And then I'm not going to know which encounters I'm going to get. So then I might end up getting pincered somewhere and die, which would be very bad. Alright, Guard Scorpion. Let's see what my ATB is. Let's see if I can get a quick attack. Yes. Now I want to get at least one limit off before he puts his tail up, but that's going to depend on who he targets and what attack he does. Scorpion tail is good. That should fill it. Cloud is doing pretty low damage with bolts. That's unfortunate. Yeah, your starting stats in this game are fairly random. So that's why sometimes he does. Oh, crit big shot. Oh yeah. anti-marathon luck.
Ooh.
Attack while its tail up. Yes, I will. Because I want to get limits filled for Airbuster. I should actually kill it because of that crit. No, it didn't. Wow, really? If I had... Yeah, I kind of made a mistake. I meant to target it with Barret while before his limit filled up, and then I could have done a normal attack, and that probably would have done it. Oh well. Still a pretty good fight. Okay, I need to make sure I don't mess this up. I mean, I shouldn't, as long as I don't wait too long to walk.
And as the run gets going, we have a few incoming donations. We have a $10 donation from an anonymous donor, and it says, as it's not going to work for Red 13, let's name Gao Ariel. And then we have a $50 donation from Zareka. It says, Kara GL, Kara Love, and the donation goes to the Kara Viking hat. And it's a great opportunity to remind you guys that if you like seeing Kara Karn wear that uncomfortable, awful hat during Final Fantasy X, you have an opportunity to donate to make him wear it again during Final Fantasy VII.
Keyword uncomfortable.
I'm not 100% sure what the donation incentive is currently at, but it's not close enough, so please donate and make sure that we can give him a hard time again. And in addition, if you fulfill the donation incentive, we will also have Gunzui-sho on the far side of the couch there perform a Viking blessing on the hat. So you know you want to see that.
Yeah, the Viking blessing is actually going to be in Norwegian. So I'm going to rub your hat while speaking a bunch of Norwegian and then put it on your head.
Okay.
Well, of course it's awkward because, like, I've never spoke Norwegian in my life.
Okay. So kind of be like me singing in Japanese then.
Pretty much. Well, the translation of what we got now started in Google Translate, and then it moved to a family member of mine, and they translated it really badly. And then it got passed to Railkun, who actually passed to a friend of his that actually knows Norwegian. And now the translation's back with me. And I think I spent probably 2 hours this morning practicing it so it doesn't sound so bad.
All right, normally I would just tell Eris to get out of here, but I need to buy a flower for to give to Marlene, because if you give a flower to Marlene, you get +5 affection on Barret. Need to make sure I do not fight any of these soldiers. You don't have to select it very quickly though, because you have to wait for them to run up to him anyway.
And of course, running is always faster than fighting.
Yeah. Alright, there's a short skip coming up that I'm probably not going to get because it's very precise. It's a Jesse skip. Basically, I'm going to skip the scene where Jesse is showing Cloud the monitor, but it's, like I said, it's pretty precise. So. Basically, I have to trigger the guard at the end of the train at the same time as I talk to Jesse, and then run back to this screen, and then come right back, and it will skip to after the monitor thing. Basically works the same way as skips in FF10. You like run into a trigger at the same time as talking to someone. I didn't talk to her. And I took a wedge. Epic fail. Yeah, sometimes, most of the time I cut in too early and just talk to Jessie normally, but that time I hit the trigger but I didn't talk to her. Some people actually like slow down to set up the position for it, but I don't like doing that because if I miss it, if I slow down and then I miss it anyway, then that just wastes even more time. So I just do it on the fly. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't.
Alright, we have a few donations. First off, a anonymous $25 donation saying Aerith's name to be Dead Yuna. Also,
Wow.
we have a $4 donation from none other than Jeannot saying, and the $4 missing for 20K.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
And $4 for Yuna as Yuffie. Finally, we have a $15 donation from Nick T saying everybody loves Schadenfreude. $15 for the Viking hat. Thank you all for your donations.